Hey everyone, how's it going? So today I'm going to talk about a book, and the name of the book is called Mornings in Jenin, and it's written by author Susan Ahlhawa. So this book is about the story of a family, a Palestinian family over four generations, and you have these three characters. The main character, the three main characters, Yusuf, Ismail, and their youngest sister. Her name is Amal, and most of the story is narrated by Amal. And so when I started reading this book, I was like gobsmacked. I mean, it's such a roller coaster. Like every single time when you flip one page, you're like, you have no clue what's going to happen in the next page. First, the story happens during the year 1948 when this Israel Palestine conflict first started, and when the state of Israel was first established. Okay, and you would have to empathize for this family, this Palestinian family. It's just incredible. They first this family first live in this place called Ein Hod. That's their ancestral home, and they are farmers, and they have all kinds of things happening, and then they are thrown out. They're forced to flee from their ancestral home to a refugee camp in Jenin, and then they would go to different places all over the world because of this ridiculous conflict. And all these siblings, these three siblings, these main characters, right? These three siblings get separated. The first one, Yusuf, he would go and join PLO. And the second one, his name is Ismail, and his story is pretty interesting because he was such a small kid when this conflict started, right? So during the mayhem, this Israeli soldier, he has no kids. He has a wife back home in Israel, but he has no kids, right? So he would see this small kid and he would kidnap him. He would take this small kid and he would take him to Israel, and he would raise him as a Israeli Jew and rename him as David. And 20 years down the line, when again the conflict started, when the war broke out again, he would come face to face with his elder brother on the opposite side of the war. And he would find out, he had his doubts, okay, but he would find out everything just a few days before her Israeli mother's death. And there is this fantastic line in this book. He thinks a lot about love, right? And then he's like, I have no doubts about my love, my mother's motherly love, but how can love be reconciled with deception? I mean, it's such an amazing piece. If you like dystopian historical fiction kind of novels, I don't know what kind of genres you guys read, but this is a fantastic novel. And this youngest sister, Amal, she would sit in this refugee camp in Jenin, and her dad would read stories to her every single day, every morning. Okay, and her dad would read poems of Khalil Gibran, imagining of a brighter future for Palestine. So that's how they got this title, The Mornings in Jenin. How cool is that, right? Now, let me tell you a little bit about the author, Susan Ahlhawa. She is a human rights activist. She is the founder of Playgrounds for Palestinian Children. She has playgrounds for children everywhere in Middle East. And she was right there during this conflict in year 2002. So she has this first-hand knowledge about the whole human genocide because she witnessed the massacre, right? She witnessed the whole massacre. So I guess that actually inspired her to write this book. And so regardless of whether you support Palestinian cause or you're a pro-Israeli supporter, whatever, doesn't really matter. I mean, war is war. Children are getting slaughtered everywhere. I mean, you can see it in everyday's news, right? It's happening. I mean, it's a reality. I mean, when you read this book, you feel like, I mean, this is a true story. And Yeah, so after reading the first few pages, I was like, I fell head over heels with this author's amazing writing. I mean, her language, the language she uses is very simple, but also at the same time, very powerful. Very, very powerful. Yeah, so this book is about the story of a great loss, great love, fortitude, defiance, resilience, and it's you got to read it. Now, when I do these kind of book reviews, I strongly believe that we have to read few pages. So I'm going to read a couple of pages, okay? Just bear with me for a second because I had to look it up on my computer. Okay, here we go. Did I close it? Oh, shit. Okay. 1 second. Hang on for 1 second. Page number 96. Okay. 96. This is poetry in prose. I mean, I was blown away by reading this book. It's just absolutely amazing. Here in this dank place, I live on the love of Fatima and memories of our future. These are the threads onto which I cling for breath. My body is stunned by the dialects of torture. I have passed the threshold of pain into numbness. I cannot see, for my eyes are swollen shut. I lie here bound to myself with rope. I think something or everything is broken. I think I will die. I think of Fatima, my love, and I can smell the jasmine in her hair. I can see her lashes float through the air when she glides her eyes, mischievously, sinfully toward me in the crowded market. An urn is perfectly balanced on her head and it does not fall when she seductively pulls her embroidered scarf to cover her lips before looking away. Suddenly, she turns her head back to be sure I'm watching. I'm thrilled and my breath goes dry in an open mouth. She's walking for me. The urn on her head saunters with her, and I'm struck by the symmetry of her posture. I imagine her dancing with the urn balanced on her head as her hips and belly curve into each other in a private performance for me. I read her letters again, scribbled with ribbons in my memory. So I'm going to read a couple of pages and then we will call it quits. Next page is 59. Let's do 57 first. I'll save the best for the last, okay? That day is one of my clearest childhood memories. Without words, Baba helped me into clean pajamas and I levitated off the ground in his enormous arms. He carried me a few steps, my small head buried in his neck, and sat me in his lap on the terrace, a 4 by 3 meter patch of stone and tile covered with a canopy of grapevines. Mama's stubborn attempt to duplicate the glory of her gardens in Einholt. It was still dark, but I recalled the shadowy landscape of the countryside's blossoming fruit trees. Peach, pomegranate, and olive were in bloom when, by the light of a wax candle, my father read to me for the first time. For a long time after, my senses could conjure from memory the sweet sense of spring that had bewitched the air. My father's olive wood pipe had protruded from the side of his mouth, and the smoke of honey apple tobacco also had marked that special morning. All right, so let's go to the last page. This is the best part, okay? This is awesome. How big do you love me? I love you as big as the ocean and all its fishes, as big as the sky and all its birds, as big as the earth and all her trees. I mean, when you start reading this book, you can't put it down. It's mind boggling, but also at the same time, very powerful. So, thank you so much for watching my video. I'll see you next time. Have a fantastic day, okay? Bye bye.